Welcome. In this series, we are learning various techniques to analyze linear networks. And today we are looking at nodal analysis.
Nodal analysis is a simple and an efficient way of applying Kirchhoff laws to linear circuits. Before going into the analysis, first let's see what is a node. A node is nothing but a junction in a circuit. Let's start with a simple circuit as an example here. See here, there is a node, there is a junction. What is a junction? A junction is a common point for three or more branches where actually current divides. So this junction, we call it node. And we know that at this junction, the Kirchhoff's current law is applicable. That means the sum of all currents that are entering the node must be equal to the sum of all currents that are leaving the node. In this example, a current I is entering this node, and that should be equal to sum of the currents that are leaving the nodes, that is I1 and I2. Now, our objective is to calculate the values of these currents. Normally, we would calculate the total resistance of the circuit and then calculate the current I, and then we will apply current division rules to find these currents. However, we are developing a techniques for analyzing little more complicated circuits. So if now, suppose if we know the value of the voltage V1 at this node, then the analysis becomes much simpler. Because we already know the voltage here on this side, it is 15 volts in this problem. Otherwise, you may think like V0. If we know the voltage on this side, and we also know voltage on this side, that means we know the voltage on the either side of a device or a resistance, then we can easily calculate the current. The voltage drop across the resistance by the current here is the current that is flowing through this branch. And that is here 15 minus V1 by 30 is the current that is flowing here. And that must be equal to the sum of these two currents as per this Kirchhoff law. And what is the current flowing here? The current flowing here now here V1 minus, this is at ground, so 0. That means V1 minus 0 or V1 by 10 and plus V1 by 20, that is current flowing through this I2. So now you have an equation with one variable and you can simply solve this. So like, whereas in mesh analysis, you had two equations to solve the same circuit, but in the nodal analysis, you have reduced one equation. It is very important to note here that you have only one equation and one variable, and I'm sure you can calculate the value of V1. But here difficulty is that it gives V1, then you will have to calculate the values of currents of your interest. You can easily calculate, but there are two steps. One equation is reduced. This is important. Suppose if you have four equations, you know how difficult it is to solve four equations. So there, if you reduce by one equation, that actually matters. But then further calculation you will do. Now, why should I take 15 minus V1? Some students will ask that why 15 minus V1? Why not V1 minus 15 here? That basically depends on the assumption that I made for the direction of the current here. In this circuit, maybe it is obvious that current is flowing like that, but sometimes it may not be obvious. So I'm telling you again that in this analysis, first we will always assume the current direction, and then we will calculate currents. And if the resultant current is found to be positive, then your direction is correct. And if it turns out to be negative, then your current is actually passing in the opposite direction. You should be conscious of that. So forget about the value of the voltage or sign of voltage here. Because I choose the current in this direction, that means the current, we know it goes higher potential to lower potential. So I assume that there is higher potential here compared to this. So I want to subtract V0 minus V1 or 15 minus V1 by 30. This is in accordance with the direction which I gave for current. Suppose if it turns out to be a negative number, then I should realize that the actual current is actually flowing in the opposite direction. That we should be conscious about that. Then here, same thing, V1 minus 0 and V1 minus 0 here also. So you can simply calculate this. That is not a problem. Now let's see another example. Let's see another example. Here, how many nodes are there? You will see here one node here, and one node here. No, this is not a node because it is just bending. It's not a junction must have minimum 3 branches. Like a Y road, Y junction on road we have minimum junction is Y junction, then 4 road junction like that. And a road just bends, we don't call a junction. I told you that a junction is a common point for 3 or more branches. Not only that, I told where current divides. That means if there is an open terminal after the junction, like a dead end on the road, here we don't count that. On road it is still called Y junction, but here if there is an open terminal, we don't consider it as a junction. Only when current divides, we consider it as a junction. So here, again, this is not a node, this is not a node, only 2 nodes here. Of course, here also there are nodes, but they are at ground, so we don't have to worry about that, it's 0. So there are 2 nodes whose voltages are not known to us, which we have to analyze. This is one node here, another node here. Let's say the voltages are V1 and V2. Now we are at voltage V1 and V2, and I have assumed current directions. Accordingly, I will write Kirchhoff's current law for each node. So for node 1, that means here, the current coming here is, the voltage here is 10 minus V1. 10 minus V1 by 2 is the current flowing here, must be equal to V1 by 6 and V1 minus V2 by 4, because I am assuming current this direction. It is V1 minus V2 by 4. 10 minus V1 by 2 equal to V1 by 6 plus V1 minus V2 by 4. That is the Kirchhoff's current law at this node. At this node, I hope you can guess now. That is V1 minus V2 by 4 equal to V2 by 10 plus V2 by 3. Now you have 2 equations and 2 variables you can solve. So number of nodes is equal to number of equations you will get and number of unknowns, because each node has a voltage. The application of this technique is actually to find the voltage levels in different nodes in a circuit. If you really want voltage, this is a direct nice technique. And even if you want currents, once you estimate these voltages, you can actually calculate the currents. Okay, let's see another variation of the same circuit. Another variation of same circuit here, I am asking you to calculate the same thing by converting this voltage source into current source, which we learned in a previous session. How to convert this voltage source into a current source? So you divide by 2 ohms by 10 is 5 amperes, and the 2 ohms becomes parallel. Now you notice that all these are coming at same potential. I am calling all of them together V1. All of them together V1 and V2. Now what are all the currents coming at these junctions? You can see 5 amperes, that is 10 by 2. I am writing just to be consistent with the previous thing, but 10 by 2 is actually 5 amperes directly you can write. 5 ampere current is coming here to this node. It is going here, it is going here, and it is going here. So it will be V1 by 2 plus V1 by 6 plus V1 minus V2 by 4. This equation is same as the previous equation, except that V1 here, 10 minus V1 by 2 was there. Now V1 has come this side. So just wanted to tell you that the validity of converting source. However, this current has no real meaning, but once if you solve V1, you can calculate currents, and the equation at V2 will not change. It will be as such. So I hope you understood this technique, and you can apply this for solving very complicated circuits also. And I suggest you to solve problems from these books, Introductory Introduction to Electric Circuits by Boylsted and Electrical Technology Volume 1. There are few chapters of B.L. Teresa. These two are the suggested books anyway for the nice books for network analysis. Thank you very much. Thank you.